you going to remember the Seahawks era?
I will remember the Seahawks era, like I just said, as a remarkable run where a team that had no identity, they had no identity. They had Pete Carroll was their identity and a dynamic running back who didn't do as much out of Cal in Western New York with baggage coming to Seattle, didn't really speak to the media very much. Who was Marshawn Lynch? But they ran the ball and they hit you in the mouth, and then they got some dynamic young quarterback who helped bring it all together and create one of the most daunting home field advantages in the National Football League for a very long time, where you knew going into the season this team had a chance to not only win their division but go on a special run every year. And then things began to change, and that's the question that I don't know if we're going to get the answer to. Tom Pelissero helped break this story for my network, and my colleagues at NFL Media Group yesterday is going to join us. The story of the trade of Russell Wilson going to Denver.
They're kind of one of the big, what if dynasties.
Well, the what if ultimately is the what if they had handed the ball to Marshawn Lynch instead of throwing it on the goal line in that Super Bowl. There's a lot of what ifs on that. But the what and the how and the why that I want answered, and I don't know if I'm going to get the answer to, is why does a team who has a homegrown quarterback, drafted, nurtured, blossomed into an NFL superstar with a dynamite reputation in the community, a Walter Payton Man of the Year, a dream come true, a man who, after getting traded, tweets out, Seattle, I love you forever, grateful, number 3. Go Hawks everywhere. Every single time. Ended his press conferences and his post-game appearances on live TV with Go Hawks. Why did this guy wind up getting traded? Why didn't it work out? And I know I'm taking it the way I've just phrased it from the point of view as that maybe being on the team. Why did Russell Wilson no longer want to be there either? Takes two to tango. What happened? First time we ever heard, Chris, TJ and Mike, of anything rumbling beneath the surface in Seattle was at the draft in Dallas when Baker Mayfield got picked first overall, and then it was Sam Darnold, and then it was Josh Allen, and we all know Josh Rosen popped in there with Lamar Jackson completing the 5 first-round drafted quarterbacks in that draft. We heard leading up to that draft, Seattle might be in the business for quarterback. And we were like, huh?
Yeah.
Because you know, I don't want to say who or what,
again?
but we heard it multiple times just
being
out
around.
and about.
Yep.
We're like, say what? What? Say what?
One more time?
Again, this is 2018.
18. There was even a little bit in 17 at the Philly draft.
What's up with that? Really? Well, there's a lot of quarterbacks in this year's draft. The 2017 draft, it was not nearly as much of a drumbeat as it was in 2018. And it's kind of like, what's up with that? And every year you would hear that there were gears grinding, and they would never talk about it in person. They would never really talk about it behind the scenes either. If you ever spoke to anybody close to the situation, nobody would ever just go, you know what? This guy's out of his mind, or that guy's out of his mind, and these guys cannot get together anymore. Let Russ cook. Let Russ cook. Remember that whole conversation over the last 2-3 years? Let Russ cook. We had Pete Carroll on last summer, and he's just like, well, this whole let Russ cook thing. That makes it seem like Pete Carroll isn't going to be into the idea of Russell Wilson being unleashed. And that's the conversation. Pete wants to just run the ball and defend the ball. Not the way this guy plays. And Russ is like, I'm not being protected. That's on you. Then all of a sudden the teams come out that he'd be willing to be traded to. And he doesn't get traded. Bears go all YOLO. Remember that they went to Trey Lance's pro day where John Schneider was there and the conversation was they're just going to go for it here, and they try to make some sort of summit happen, and it didn't work out. And then they go through last year together. Doesn't work out again. Falls apart. We get the sense in the end of the season last year that it's not going to last much longer. Why? What happened? Guy's not 38. Guy's not 40. Still a young man. A lot of great years left. Who gives up on that guy? Why does that guy give up on that team? What happened? And whatever did happen there, will it resurface in Denver? What will Seattle do now? What are they going to do? Drew Lock? Is that what they're going to do? Are they hoping deep down, that Deshaun Watson does not wind up with any significant charges? Does he wind up getting through all this and going there? Is that a plan? What's their plan? Can't be. Is it Kenny Pickett? They got the 8th overall pick. By that point, I'll tell you what, they can have whatever quarterback they want in this year's draft. You know, 9th overall pick in the draft. They can get whoever they want right there, 9th pick. Yep. No one's taking a quarterback before them unless they trade up because they think that the Seahawks are going to take someone. I don't think it's going to be that guy. I think they're just going to get a pass rusher for Pete's defense, or they're going to get Sauce.
Panthers might take a quarterback.
I don't know. Panthers take a quarterback. That would just be... I think they could get a pass protector, but not to get too deep into the draft nick conversation right here. Yeah. What are they going to do with this quarterback spot? Russ is gone. What's the plan? Why now? What happened? Will there be a 30 for 30 on it? Will the story come out? Because I'll tell you what, you talk to anybody who's close to the situation right now, pretty much, and they're not saying. The answer is like, good luck, Russ.
Also, was it 2 weeks ago that we noticed he removed all the Seahawks stuff from Twitter?
We talked about it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, his geotag on Twitter was global and professional athlete. Yeah, these things don't just come out of nowhere either. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.